This is what a starting script might look like for AI applications. You might hit the OpenAI API. You might also try to parse the response of that using some parsing technique and extracting JSON from the response. And also you might want to hard code your model right within the code. All of those work great until something breaks or until you might want to change your model provider. So for example, you might want to go from OpenAI to Anthropic or to Google Gemini models, and then you would have to essentially rewrite everything. Hey everyone, my name is Vidalin, and in this video I'm going to show you the basics of LangChain. Now LangChain is version 1.0, and along LangGraph they have now a better unified API and a much simpler approach to start and build your AI applications. In this video, I'm going to show you 4 different concepts that will clean up significantly your AI applications. And on top of that, I'm going to show you how you can build some nice abstractions so you don't have to rewrite your code every time that you're going to be trying to use another model. Let's get started. In this tutorial, we're going to be using Ollama in order to run Gemma 3 and Mistral 3 on our local machines. You should have both of those models pulled with Ollama pool. And from there, I'm going to be using LangChain 1.13. And I'm going to be starting with setting up the chat model initialization. And for that, I'm going to be using the init chat model from the LangChain chat models. And also I'm going to be importing the type of the base chat model, which is going to be the return type of our function create model. From here, you can see that I'm passing as a single parameter the model name. This will default to the Gemma model, but for the tool calling example that I'm going to show you in a bit, we're going to be using the Mistral 3 model, since the Ollama implementation of Gemma 3 doesn't support tool calling for some reason. And from there, I'm going to be providing a model provider that is going to be the Ollama provider. I don't want any reasoning to any of those models, and I'm specifying a seed number in order to have somewhat reproducible results. So in the case that you want to try any of these with an OpenAI model, Anthropic model, or Google Gen AI model, you can essentially replace the model provider and the model name. And of course, you need to pass in within the environment variables the API key that you're going to be using for this particular provider. A complete text tutorial is available for free on the MLExpert Academy. And within this exact same module, you can see that we have running AI locally with Ollama prompt engineering, streaming API with fast API, and the memory-enabled chatbot, which is going to be a capstone project for the MLExpert Academy members. Here you can see that you have the complete text tutorial, but if you want to get access to the complete source code that I'm going to show you as well, you need to become an MLExpert Pro subscriber. And from there, you're going to get access to the complete MLExpert AI Engineering Academy. And if you want to join, I'm going to be putting a link to the MLExpert AI Engineering Academy within the description of this video. Thank you. Now that we have the model set up, we are going to start by running a single invocation to our model. And from there, I'm passing in a prompt. What is the firing order of the M156 V8 engine? And from there, you're going to see that within the next cell, we're going to be essentially printing the response. Unfortunately, this is not the correct firing order, but still you can see how easy it is to call your model without even knowing what is the provider of this model. One important feature of LangChain is the ability to use prompts as functions, and you can add additional variables or parameters to them. In order to do that, you need to use the chat prompt template. And as you can see right here, I have a system message, and then I have a human or a user message, which is going to be created from a template. And with this template, I have a single variable called car_model, and this should be added within a curly braces, as you can see right here. This is somewhat similar to Python f-strings. and you can use those if you want to, or you can use this particular style that LangChain provides. And if I run this, you're going to see that this prompt template is going to be created from the chat prompt template. And when you execute the prompt template with format messages, you can essentially replace this variable right here with something that you're passing in as an argument. And you can see the result. And then you essentially have the tell me about the engine, and then the Honda S2000 2004, which is going to be replaced right here as the variable. And from there, you can, of course, run the model as you did in the previous example. And you see that the response is now related or grounded within the car that you have passed in, the Honda S2000 2004. And the model from there is talking about the 2-liter engine. I'm not really sure if this should be a 2-liter or 2.2 in year 2004, but other than that, it seems like that this model has really replied to the particular query. You won't believe how many people are still parsing their responses for the particular JSON that they want from their LLMs. There is a much better way to do this, even within most of the API SDKs within the different providers. So for example, Google Gen AI, OpenAI, and etc. But also, if you don't have a particular provider's API, you can also use LangChain to get structured output from your LLMs by defining Pydantic classes. So you can see right here that I'm starting with a Pydantic import for the base model and the field. From there, you're going to see that I want a configuration of the particular engine that I'm going to be working on. I want the manufacturer, which is going to be a string, the configuration, V8, V10, V12, and W16, along with these literals, which essentially will allow the model to choose from any of those, such as this is very similar to an enum type of configuration. And in order to force your LLM to work with this, you need to call model.withStructuredOutput and essentially pass in your extension of the base model right here. And if you run this, you should have the structured LLM. From there, you are going to be able to essentially prompt your model as you just any other model. And here I have a prompt which pretty much contains all the information that I have given right here. And in order to get the output of this, you essentially need to call .invoke. This is exactly the same API that we had before. And from there, you're going to essentially get this base model, which you can call model dump, which will essentially give you the JSON that you get from the response. And as you can see, we are talking within this prompt right here for naturally aspirated V12 with 6.5 liter of displacement. The manufacturer is Ferrari, and the red wine RPM is 8,900, which is specified right here. So as you can see, you can pretty easily get the type of information that you want from your LLMs without needing to parse anything. Most LLMs today work with additional tools in order to get external information or do some type of information. And if you want to define your own tools or essentially reuse some of the available ones, LangChain is making this particularly easy, especially if your model supports tool calls. So in this case, I'm going to be initializing our example with the Ministral model, since this model supports tool calling within LangChain. And I'm going to run this cell. From there, you're going to see that I'm importing the tool decorator from the LangChain core tools. And I'm specifying this very simple function, calculate horsepower per liter. And it got two different parameters, the horsepower and the displacement in liters. Of course, you can see that I have also added this docs string, which is going to allow the LLM to read it and understand what this function actually does. From there, you can see that I have the tool name, which is going to be the function name, essentially mapped in a dictionary to the actual function itself. And I'm going to be passing in the model that we're going to be having, which is going to be, again, the Ministral model, to create model. And from there, I'm going to be calling the function bind tools. So this LLM will use this function in order to understand what this tool is. It's going to read the name, the parameters, the docstring, and the return type of it. And I'm going to be getting this instance that now understands the tooling. I'm going to run this cell as well. And as you can see, I have a very simple prompt. The Gordon Murray T50 has 3.9 V12, making 654 horsepower. And I want this model to calculate its specific output. In order to do that, this model is going to get the same invocation, note the pattern right here, as before. And it is going to essentially return a list of tool calls. And in our case, this is going to be just a single tool call. And this is the tool call that we're going to get. So this particular tool call is going to be having a name of calculate HP per liter, which is going to be exactly the same tool that we have right here. These parameters are actually the same ones that are specified right here. And from there, we have also the correct volume of the engine, 3.58 liters, and exactly the correct horsepower, 654. So this is perfect. And after you execute this, you can essentially use the tools with the tool name and add .invoke in order to run the function or the tool that we have created with the exact arguments that we want the model to run it with. And this is the response from the invocation of this particular tool that our LLM wanted to call for us. And using this approach, you can essentially add additional tools and make your LLMs much more powerful. And I wanted to give you a bonus feature that LangChain allows you to do pretty easily. It does actually integrate quite well with MLflow. And in this case, this will allow you to trace your LLM calls. So if you're doing RAG applications, agentic workflows, or some extractions and AI agents, you are going to be able to see what is going wrong and how your LLM calls are being flown within the context of your application. In order to run this, you are going to be essentially importing the MLflow library. Then you're going to be setting an experiment. In this case, I'm going to be calling this LangChain Quickstart. And then I'm going to be calling just MLflow LangChain.AutoWalk. So this will run the MLflow instance on the backend, and you're going to be able to create this LangChain Quickstart experiment. From there, you're going to see that I'm going to be calling run cell, and this will essentially invoke the model with this particular prompt. Why is the McLaren F1 engine bay lined with gold? Explain in one sentence. And then in your terminal, you're going to run MLflow UI. And when you open the web UI, you're going to be able to see the experiments right here. When you open this, you're going to be set that this is going to be detected as a Gen AI experiment. You're going to be confirming this, and you have just a single trace right here. You are going to be able to see the request or the prompt and then the response. The McLaren F1 engine bay was lined with gold to reflect heat away from engine components, etc. And from there, you're also going to be seeing the token count for this particular prompt and output and the time for which this particular result was calculated. These are the basics of the LangChain library. And don't get me wrong, the library is very vast, but these are the foundational concepts that you might use as an AI engineer on a daily basis. Of course, within the ML Expert Academy, I'm going to show you a lot more as how you can parse PDFs, how you can run RAG applications, agentic workflows with LangChain and LangGraph, and a lot more. So if you want to understand a lot more and how you can build your own complete AI engineering projects, go and subscribe to the ML Expert Academy. Thank you for watching, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. Also, join the Discord channel that I'm going to link down into the description of this video. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.